you check the children? Show a little match sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes. That is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird, and I'm here to review the brand new horror release called The Damned. Now, this is one that I don't remember even doing a trailer reaction for, quite honestly, so I don't know how it slipped by us, but the reason I went and saw it is because I saw Stuckman give it a review, and he was quite positive about it, and the things he said in his review was made me like, oh, I might like this. You know, he's like, there's a supernatural element, and there's like a thing out there that's, you know, I don't want to ruin what it is and stuff, and so I was like, okay, so he whet my appetite enough for me to go and use my A-list on it, and I unfortunately was not a fan. It turned into what I feared, which happens a lot with Stuckman, in my opinions, being ultimately a bit on the opposite side of things. He likes ambiguity a lot more than me, and as if a movie is presented artistically, then I feel like he's a lot more forgiving of the substance of the art. And so that being said, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this one. It was beautifully shot and it was well made. I feel like I'm repeating a review that Fuego and I just did for Nosferatu, but it was a well-made movie. It was a well-acted movie, and the production design was really awesome. I can't imagine the struggle of filming in such an environment, because it was clearly filmed on location of some sort, but it was very snowy. Ultimately, though, the story is very, I won't say by the numbers, but I will say it's very familiar. It's been done a number of times. It's bunker-esque, right? It's closest to The Thing, which I love, so I was like, ooh, give me more of that. I love Arctic and cold horror, and, you know, the Terror TV series based on that book. I love that, you know, that kind of horror where there's something stalking someone in the snow, and, you know, that can be really fun and really good. But ultimately, this felt so much like so many others that I've seen. It's like a small group of people, a little fishing, you know, not even town. It's like 10 people that are, you know, there to fish, and then at the end of the season they sell the fish, and that's like how they make their money for the year. And but they're snowed in, they can't leave, and suddenly basically the story is towards the start of the movie, a ship crashes on rocks nearby and sinks, and they don't know what happened. They at some point decide to take a boat out to see if there's supplies that they can you know, salvage, and it turns out they not run afoul, but they see that there are actually a few survivors who try and, you know, escape on the boat, but if the group of people let them on the boat, they're going to capsize. And so it's one of those situations, and then something happens and people start to die, and it's a matter of, will they be able to survive and get out before they're all taken out by whatever this thing is. And yeah, that's something we've seen a lot of times before. Again, the acting was strong, but it's like a cast of 8 to 10 to start, and it just whittles down from there. The lead actress, she was really good, but I just didn't care as much about the story and how it played out. I was worried that it was going to do a thing that a lot of movies do, where they're like, ooh, it's going to be this, it's going to be this, it's going to be this, and then at the end they're like, nope, it was actually this. And it's like, ha, gotcha. And it's like, no, I saw that coming a mile away, and it's totally the less interesting way to go. So that's what happened here. We got to the end, and it was like the reveal, and I'm like, fucking really? So like exactly what I feared and didn't want it to be is what we're doing. Ugh, all right, you know. And so like the end was just so hollow, because I'm like, fine, okay, ooh, wow, you know, that really wasn't what it seemed, you know. So that I'm dancing because I don't want to spoil it for anyone that actually wants to see it. But it's I guess you could say it's a thing that we haven't seen put to screen a lot, but on the other hand, it's adjacent to the thing that we've seen the most in horror that I don't like anymore. So it's not, you know, it's nothing that was knock your socks off by any stretch. So yeah, I mean, production design, it's a very small area where, you know, a little fishing couple of buildings and this, you know, snowy mountain cove. And that's so it plays around with that a little bit, and there's a little bit of folklore to it, but it's just not that interesting. It's an hour and 29 minutes, so at least it doesn't overstay its welcome. I was happy that it was over when it was, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much as I can say about it without spoiling it. The effects were okay. It's fun. There's not a ton of effects to be used, so it's like, okay, you know, the effects we got were fine. But yeah, it's just not that. I think it's very forgettable. It's gonna be definitely towards the lower part of my list for 2025. I hope, God, I hope we get better than this. But you know, this will be for some people, the people that are okay with that kind of reveal that is just like so many other movies we've seen before. It's just not that brilliant to me, you know. It's yeah, I've seen it before, I'll see it again, and it'll annoy me every time. So I think that's where I'm going to end my review of The Damned. Thanks very much for watching. If you've watched this far, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you to all of our patrons for supporting the channel the way that you do. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird, and remember, stay scared.